It's Monday afternoon, and I definitely need a better sleep and wake cycle. No, I didn't just wake up now. It's just that my brain is so mushy from not getting proper sleep. And then it's easier to fall back into that depression, which is kind of what's going on today. The weather's changing. It's going to get really, really cold. Well, actually, it is cold. Sun's out, but it's cold. And when I did fall asleep, whenever that was, I had a series of not disturbing, but uneasy dreams. They weren't life-threatening or anything. They were just made me feel bad. One dream, I was near a really pretty creek, and there was some man there. And for some reason, I felt threatened. The man was doing nothing, but I was scared, and I felt threatened. Then the man went away, and I felt like I could do things. I was even looking to see if there were little fish in the creek. Another part of my dream. Well, if you hear weird noises, the street crew is on the street behind me. I'm in the back bedroom. I don't know. I keep thinking, when will that end? But then when it's over, it'll be dull around here. Train of thought has left the station. All because I don't get much sleep. Okay, the first dream was a guy by the river. The second dream was I was in a dead sleep and the doorbell rang. This isn't my house where I grew up. And I stumbled to the front door, and by the time I got to the front door, I could get my eyes open. And I didn't see anybody or anything, and I saw a man take something out of my mailbox and put it in his arm. He had a bunch of newspapers and letters and magazines in his arm. And he was like the kind of guy that goes around and puts stuff in your mailbox. So I said, "What's going on?" And he was explaining to me that he was taking things out of mailboxes so that he didn't want people to harbor wrong thoughts. Does that sound familiar? In other words, the public would have no control over what was basically fed to them media-wise. That the media controlled it all. And I had to explain to him in a lie. I said, "Well, I'm studying all this stuff at college, and I need to know what other people think in other religions and other cultures." And he looked at me unsuredly, and I said, "Look, if you don't know how other people feel about things, how are you going to know how to be around them? Right?" The third dream, and it probably all happened within 10 seconds, because that's the way dreams often are. The third dream had to deal with my mother being narcissistic. And in my dream, my children were like 6 and 8 years old again. And I didn't know where they were. It was being kept from me where they were. And I wanted to see them. I couldn't wait till they got home. They were somewhere. And it was like a holiday time. I don't know what house this was in. It doesn't really matter, does it? All of a sudden, this little carriage, like a Cinderella carriage, pulls up. And there's my sons in little 3-piece suits and little top hats and canes and everything. And a couple girls in the carriage, and they were being gentlemanly, and helping escort these little girls, blah, blah, blah. And it was like Christmas time. And I said, "Oh, I got to go get my camera." So I ran off to get a camera. By the time I got back, everyone had already had their fun. It was like all over with. And I missed it. I missed out on everything. And my mother was sitting there opening up all these gifts. And I can tell you what that's about. That's about having a narcissistic mother. She runs the show. Everything is around her. And I didn't get to see my kids' first steps when they were little, because I had to work. At that time, my husband at that time didn't want to watch the kids. It was beneath him to watch his own children. And it was a good thing that he didn't, because he would either fall asleep, watch TV and ignored them, or, he's also a narcissist. So, it just, very, very uneasy feeling dream, okay? And then the last bit of it, there was a last bit where I had a bedroom. It was in the back of a little camper van. It was nothing in there but a single bed, and the sheets on there were kind of a salmon pink, kind of an orangey pink. And the top sheet was folded up and the blanket was folded up. So I was laying out the top sheet, and it didn't fit quite over the whole bed. It was too small. And neither did the blanket. But I thought, well, when I'm cold, it will cover me. And then I discovered there was a little window in there. A little window like this. And it had a screen on it. So I could open the window to get some fresh air. And I kept looking for another window, maybe for a cross breeze. And there was one that only opened this much. Didn't have a screen, so I thought, well, I'll just keep that one closed. I think that summed it up. That summed up all the dreams of me having no choice, me being used. And it's really a hard pill to swallow. I was 60 years old. You would think you could get over something like that, But if your whole life you've been treated as just a subject, a pawn to someone else's kingdom, it's really, really tough to get away from. Now, I've been watching a lot of narcissism videos and other people that see counselors and all. And one life coach I've been watching is Richard Grannon. I'll put his link below. It does help me a lot, and a lot of his people that study his materials have been helped as well. And it's really, really a tough way to start. Well, it is a Monday. Well, I better get back to the things that I need to do around here. Maybe it'll take my mind off of the crap. Upward and onward.